And we all go in the locker room. Herzog walks through and says, I don't want to hear a word. We're just silent. We all in silence, get on the bus. He walks on the bus. I remember he played for Atlanta. He had broken his nose like 10 times. So he was really ugly. We always kidded him because he was ugly. Herzog, you're ugly. So he walks on the plane, and you knew it was him because his whole side of his face, and it was just a silhouette. He turns toward all of us on the team, and he just looks at us. He says, I just have one thing to say. He said, that was the best game I've ever seen playing in my life. And we all went, wow. Why? Because we realized it wasn't about the game. It was about us. We knew from that example that he loved us. We would do anything for that guy. That's the way you have to be as a teacher. You have to be that way. You have to show them how to do things so that they can pick up the skill part of virtue. And you have to do it in a role that shows them that it's not about you, it's about them. And they'll do anything for you. So that's the way it works. That's the way it works. That's the way parenting works. And that's the way any role in another person's life works. So a role is not a function. It's not going through the motions. It's communicating that you're at a person's service to nurture them with the skills that you have to give to them. You give them the skills that you have. The more teachers we have that show children that they love them and pass on the skills that you have, the more skills those kids, in other words, the more virtues those kids have. And education has no upper limit because it has only the upper limit of people a person has been open to through a role. So all of you have something to give another person. If you all give it to them, that person has what you all have. They have identified with you. There's a book by John Paul II called Memory and Identity. The memories that we have give us our identity. You need to give kids memories. Memories of someone who has loved them and shown them how to live a value. How to do it. Not just the value. How to do the value, the virtue, in a practical way. To be kind, to work hard, to organize yourself in a certain way, etc., etc., etc. Okay? That's how that works. That's how parenting works. That's how any role in anyone's life works. So, I'd like to throw it out for questions. Any questions? Any questions? It's all clear as mud? Yes?
How can you present the information about the different biological differences between boys and girls without making the students think, well, I'm a girl, so I'm not going to be good at math or science?
Okay, you have to give them the information that's going to be helpful to them.
Right.
So don't give them information that's not helpful to them. Give them skills. Give them, you don't have to tell them you can't hear well. The boys, okay, girls When they're immature, they use emotions to get their way. Boys, when they're immature, they use reasons to get their way. In other words, excuses. So you give them an excuse and they'll use it. I don't hear well. I didn't see that difference in the color. Be aware of it and don't make an expectation that's not realistic for that perspective. Right? But you have to treat each person as the person they are. And naturally there are some people who are going to be a little sharper on colors, and because of whatever, there are other factors. Obviously, there's different temperaments that come into this. It's not all cut and dry. And as far as temperaments go, some of them have history, some of them have parents that taught them something. So you have to approach each one. But the biology we talked about here, it's there. Okay? It's there. It's there in everybody. Okay? I hope that answers your question. So you have to be very practical on how you apply that, and you have to treat each one as an individual.